What is up, gamers? Staxwell's back at it again today with another market watch, a disgustingly fat market watch for you. Not only do we have the results of the U.S. Nationals, a lot of meta shakeups, a lot of outs and things like that because of Nationals, and then we also have the new set Rosetta, a lot of spoilers, a lot of speculation going on in the market from that new set. So yeah, a lot to talk about. I just got back from the event. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, but yeah, this stuff can't wait. Let's just go ahead. I don't want to waste any more time. Let's just go ahead and jump straight into it here. Levels of Enlightenment. Last time we checked on this card, it was $30. It is now up to $40. Makes a lot of sense. Zen, Enigma, and New, all playing 3 copies of it. They've all proven themselves this weekend as strong meta contenders, so makes sense that this card's going up. Channel the Thunder Steep, I don't know what you would call it, Steppe. Channel Thunder Steppe is at $5 for the cheapest copy, and then the cheapest rainbow foil copy is up to $10. Surface level, a lot of people say this card's not very good. This card's trash, which if you're looking at the current card pool, I would agree, that sucks. But one thing to note about this is it says whenever you play an action card, you may pay a resource. If you do, it gains go again. Not very good currently, but if it was in the wizard class, it would be very good. Being able to give all of your tomes go again seems a little bit nutty, actually. Maybe there's like a brainstorm combo you can work out with this. Giving everything go again, drawing a bunch of cards. I don't know. Either way, giving tomes go again at the very least seems pretty good. So it makes sense that this card's going up with the Lightning Wizard that's coming out. Speaking of wizards, Kindle has gone a little bit crazy. Cheapest copy on the market is $10. Not only is Kano currently a very competitive and viable hero, probably the second best hero in the game, honestly. Just won the calling. And yeah, not only that, but, you know, 2 new wizards coming out. Makes sense. Kindle's going crazy. Channel Mount Heroic, again, same thing. We have 2 new Earth heroes coming out. The Earth Wizard obviously isn't going to play this card, I would imagine. But the Earth Runeblade is very likely to. Cheapest copy on the market is currently $8. I think it's going to come down a bit from this price as things settle, as we get more spoilers, as we get closer to the set. But yeah, for now, cheapest copy on the market is $8. I haven't even looked at the rainbow. What's that at? Sheesh! Cheapest rainbow on the market is $20. Poison the Well. We did get a spoiler for the, I think it was the Earth Wizard. And when they spoiled it, I think Brian Gottlieb said something like, you can look at this card and imagine how the hero plays. And then the card said like gain 1 life, gain 1 life, gain 1 life. So yeah, it kind of seems like the new Earth Wizard is going to be heavily focusing on the life gaining mechanic. Maybe there's something like whenever you gain a life, deal that much damage to your opponent or something along those lines. Either way, it seems like gaining a life is going to be an integral strategy to the class. Longtime fans of the channel are eating very good on Poison the Well. We spec'd in this when it was like 25 cents a month or 2 ago. I thought it'd be good when like a cleric class came out. But yeah, if the Earth Wizard is kind of doing a lot of life gain, then yeah, this makes perfect sense. Cheapest copy on the market, $7.74, and the cheapest rainbow foil is up to $15. Kind of crazy. I think all of this stuff I'm going to talk about today just kind of recently got bought out, got dried up, or whatever you want to say. So I think all of this stuff is going to come down a little bit as we move closer to the set. So keep all of that in mind. Moving forward, I don't want to say it on every single card, but yeah, it is also true with Poison the Well. Traverse the Universe. Everything I said about Levels of Enlightenment is also true about Traverse the Universe, I guess, except New doesn't play this card. But yeah, Enigma and Zen both prove themselves to be very strong heroes. Cheapest copy on the market, cheapest rainbow foil is $92 now. Kind of insane. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Like to see it. New cards, holding value, new powerful legendaries is seeming to be a theme going forward, and I'm very here for it. I'm very welcoming of it. Amnesia, cheapest copy on the market, $25. This is also making a lot of sense. The perfect counter to Zen, ruins his Bonds lines, ruins his Crouching Tiger lines. If you throw this at Zen, it's kind of a must block. So yeah, a lot of heroes are going to start playing this card moving forward, and it's a 2 for 6 that blocks 3, which is not something we get very often. Weakest Link is bringing that. Weakest Link, Amnesia, and CNC are probably like the only ones in the game that are like, you know, generically good. So yeah, powerful card. I think it was underpriced for way too long, so it makes sense that it's finally seeing its day. This one's kind of like one of those meta-dependent cards, right? It ebbs and flows in and out of the meta as this stuff is relevant. Yeah, what's the cheapest rainbow foil at? Oh, there isn't any on the market. No rainbows on the market. Wow, I didn't even see that before. This round's on me. Pretty much everything I said about Amnesia could be said about this round's on me as well. Very powerful against Zen. Cheapest copy on the market is up to $18. Fans of the channel are eating good on this one as well. We talk about this card all the time. Yeah, cheapest Rainbow Foil on the market is $21 now. Swarming Gloomveil, cheapest copy on the market is $17. It just so happens to be Rainbow, so they're all around that $17 to $20 price tag. Yeah, there's insane Runeblade attack. Pretty much every Runeblade forever, I imagine, is going to want to play Swarming Gloomveil, unless they have like a very uber unique mechanic like Vincent does. Yeah, Vincent's just so unique in the way it plays that Swarming Gloomveil doesn't make the most sense in that deck, but it's also not unreasonable to play Swarming Gloomveil in Vincent either. Yeah, I think it's a pretty safe pickup for any Runeblade going forward. You would imagine is going to play things like Swarming Gloomveil, Grasp of the Arknight, things like that. Aether Wildfire. Yeah, Kano's very strong, and new wizards are coming out. So yeah, cheapest Aether Wildfire on the market is $11. Cheapest Rainbow Foil is $15. I actually didn't look this up before we started, and I'm curious what the most expensive EA is. Cheapest EA is only $40. That seems a little bit underpriced, doesn't it? I don't know. I think that's worth it. You get a set of these for like, what, $120? I think that's a good pickup. Amulet of Echoes, Cold Foil. Cheapest copy on the market is $10. This is some more anti-Zen technology here. Target hero discards 2 cards. Activate only if they played 2 or more cards with the same name this turn. So 2 Crouching Tigers, 2 Bonds combos, anything like that. Could make them discard. And not only that, but Amulet of Echoes also enables your Transcends, right? So if you're Enigma, you slap an Amulet of Echoes on board, and then you're able to Transcend. Yeah, I think it's a good card. I think it's good tech. Cheapest copy on the market for the Cold Foil is $9.20. I think it's decent. Revelant Runeblood, cheapest copy on the market is $13. It's worth noting that with the new Runeblade, forgive me, I'm forgetting the name of the new Runeblade right now. It says whenever you would create 1 or more rune chants, create that many +1. So you're not making 8 rune chants off of Revel. I heard that a couple times this weekend. You're only going to be making 5 with that hero. So if you're going to buy this card, just keep that in mind. Just something I heard a couple times this weekend. I just want to put a correction out there for that. Ambrance of Determination is going crazy as well. Cheapest Rainbow Foil on the market is $33. Cheapest Coldie on the market is $68. The Coldie actually hasn't moved that much, whereas the Rainbow has like 3x in price. To me, that's like a good market indicator that the Cold Foil is set to move, right? So if you're looking to get this card, I just highly recommend the Cold Foil. Shock Charmers, cheapest copy on the market is $70, and the cheapest Cold Foil on the market is $90. Yeah, new Lightning heroes coming out. The Lightning Wizard is almost guaranteed to not want to play this card, but the Lightning Runeblade very well could want to. New Lightning channel card that says like whenever you hit, draw a card, isn't really going to like work in conjunction with Shock Charmers, but I'm sure there'll be other cards in the set that will make Shock Charmers good. And if not, at the very worst, like I'm sure Shock Charmers will still be played as a Spell Void 2, if nothing else. If the effect is not relevant, the Spell Void 2 will be. So I think Shock Charmers is a very good pickup. Not only that, like just a little side note, the 0 block and no blade break also makes it very good against T-Bone, which is the way like Mechanologist is playing now, like Dash.io and Dash is trying to snipe your equipment. So having a no block, no blade break or anything is kind of cool as well. Yeah, so because of that, and because of, no block and Spell Void 2, like this card could be good just because of that. And then, of course, the instant ability on it to pay 2, make something deal 1 could also be insane as well. I think this is probably like the best pickup right now that you could make. This is like the safest investment, I guess you could say. Luvian Constellas. This one also seems crazy. Luvian, back in the Icelander days, whenever you would play against like a Viserai, it was always insane to have an Luvian on board. It always felt like you just got infinite value out of it. And I'm sure that's going to be the same with the new Runeblade heroes, and the Wizard Mirrors are always going to play Luvian. I think this card is still insanely underpriced, even though it's gone up a lot. I think it was like $20 or $15 before. Cheapest Rainbow is now $31, and then the cheapest Cold Foil on the market is $45, and then it quickly jumps up to $55. Yeah, I still think it's undervalued. All the Wizards are going to be playing this, probably forever. This card's insane. Zephyr Needle, we've seen this in the top. I think it's actually in the list that won, the Zen list that won. Zephyr Needle, just a 1-cost, deal 2 damage. So instead of paying 2 for a weapon that swings for 2, you're paying 2 for 2 weapons that swing for 2. Obviously, they could break or whatever. But this card very much reminds me of like Teklo Pounder. You're going to get a couple of big spike turns off of it. And, hoping to end the game in those first 3 turns or put your opponent so far behind that the advantage gained from Zephyr Needle outweighs the fact that they're gone forever or whatever, So yeah, this card, like playing against Talishar, very much reminded me of Teklo Pounder. I actually think it's pretty powerful stuff. Anyway, the reason I pull it up is because of the cold foils. Cheapest copy of the cold foils on the market is now $60, and if we look at the sales data here, we see them selling for $48, even as low as $37 a couple days ago, $22 on the 10th, which was a week ago. So yeah, this card's moving like crazy. Miss Cloak Gully, cheapest copy on the market is $34 for the Fable. That seems a little bit low to me. Like, I get it's not like super competitively viable or anything right now. But yeah, $34 is probably like the entry point, especially if you're like a Fabled collector or anything. I can't imagine it going much lower than this. I think it's time to pick that up. Arcanite Skullcap is getting a reprint in the new set as well. I think it's only getting a reprint in Japan, but people think because it's getting a reprint, it must be relevant, right? They're not just going to reprint an irrelevant card. That wouldn't make a lot of sense. So yeah, it's probably because of the Arcane Barrier 3 that people are looking at Arcanite Skullcap again. Maybe the new wizards are going to start with less life. That's a wizard trend, right? So being able to have less life and Arcane Barrier 3 on tap like that, yeah, could very well put Arcanite Skullcap in meta relevancy once again. Cheapest rainbow foil on the market is $56. Look at that graph. It just goes down to $20. And then boom, shoots right back up to 60. That's kind of crazy. The cheapest Everfest one, which is the non-foil one, still sub $20. So if you don't have one, again, longtime fans of the channel are eating good on this card. Yeah, you should definitely be picking that up. I think it's very likely it could become meta relevant again. Spellbound Creepers, cheapest copy on the market, $150. Makes perfect sense. This is like the premier Runeblade equipment, right? This and Grasp of the Arknight. So yeah, it makes sense. This one's going crazy. Definitely get the cold foil. If you see any rainbows up here, they're normally like the same price or more. Yeah, look at this. Rainbow foil is $153. So yeah, definitely just get the coldies if you're going to pick those up. Grasp of the Arknights, cheapest copy on the market is $86. Again, it's hard to imagine a Runeblade that's not going to want to play Grasp, especially one that says every time you make a rune chant, make another rune chant. Being able to pitch 2 resources and make 2 rune chants is pretty effective use of your additional resources, your spare stuff. 100 of Winds, the extended art, cheapest copy on the market is $12 for the blue one. I'm actually kind of curious what the red one is at as well. Zen Hype has just gone totally crazy on the market. Look, $17 for the cheapest red one. People are very interested in Zen. Yeah, it's kind of weird, right? We've been talking about Zen for a couple weeks. We all knew he was broken, but it took him winning nationals for people to want to go out and start buying the cards. It's kind of interesting. Nebula Blade, the cheapest cold foil on the market, is only $25. And of the existing Runeblade weapons, like I understand we'll get more Runeblade weapons or whatever, but Nebula Blade seems like the obvious best one. Costs 2 resources. Comes in for 4 on-hit rune chant, which like sometimes isn't that scary. But with the new hero power of the new Runeblade, it's going to be 4 on hit 2 rune chants, which is just a little bit scarier, right? So this turns 2 resources into potentially 6 damage, which is obviously very above rate. Yeah, so for only $24, it's no guarantee. Obviously, they're going to get a new weapon. It's possible that the new weapon will be better than this. Even this seems like, very serviceable, very good as it is. You never know. It could be Nebula Blade could just be the signature weapon. We don't know. I think, yeah, it's good for the cost. And even if nothing else, Viserai still plays this card right now, right? So like even if the new heroes aren't playing it, it's very possible that Viserai will continue to want to play this card. Corsham, Crossroads of the Elementals. This is the Fabled from Tales of Aria. Cheapest copy on the market is $56, and it pretty much hasn't moved. A ton of copies have sold, but the price really hasn't moved that much. Look, if we go to just before the announcement, the rainbows were like $45. So this has only gone up $10 despite all of the news, despite all of the sales. So I think if you were looking to pick it up, I don't think you're too late on Corsham. If you're going to pick up this or any of the other cards we talked about in the Market Watch today, please do so using my TCG Player affiliate link in the description below. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, rate, subscribe. Later, gamers.